Welcome, everybody, to the Live Louder podcast. Good morning. If you're just waking up, if you're watching this at a later time, good evening, or whenever you're watching it, it really doesn't matter. What does matter is that you like this show, share it with your friends, and certainly subscribe to the channel. I'm Scott.
I'm Melody. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday. We're like Easter's this weekend.
I know. I didn't even realize yesterday, and then I noticed that there wasn't many school buses out.
I know. Good Friday. A lot of people took off.
And then my nephew, who's a school teacher, just was home.
Yeah.
So everybody's off, I guess. Just a lot of people were out of work too.
Don't they isn't there I'm trying English for the first time, people. Let's see how it goes.
Even the stock market was closed. I didn't even know that. Somebody told me
for
that.
Good Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought when I was young that Easter Monday was a holiday. I thought that's what it was when I was younger. If anybody else remembers that being the case. We got
I don't know. I just had to catch on though yesterday because so many people canceled on me. We had meetings lined up at work. He just randomly canceled at the last minute.
I know. Gotta go hide the eggs.
Yes.
Gotta go hide the eggs. Hey, listen, Nellie's on with us already.
Yay. Good morning, Nellie.
That was fast. Thanks for joining us, Nellie. Speaking of Nellie, I want to point out, now everybody knows this is my artwork behind us, except for the one that's directly above Melody, the eyeball, because we want the all-seeing eye on Melody there. That one is done by your friend Janelle.
Yes, Nellie's Healing Arts. So she has really just become such a huge inspiration for me. She creates her own candles, custom makes her own candles.
She made one for my business partner, Karen.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's an intention candle.
Karen loves it. Loves it.
Yep. So
I've never heard her
customized
rave about a candle before.
And she is also, Janelle is also teaching and helping people heal from trauma through healing arts. And she's really just lighting up this world by sharing her gifts. And she's creating candles. She's doing art like this and also different molds so that you can paint on those molds. So she's really just really inspiring me. And I'm just so proud of the work that she's been doing.
Do you do any art stuff?
I do not.
You do writing, though.
I love to write, and I love to do anything to do with mindset to inspire other people, to help them get unstuck and find their purpose. Anything to do with mindset, I love to learn about. So I'm always learning, and then I'm kind of coming back and teaching to other people. A lot of things that have to do with neuroplasticity and also just taking care of your brain health.
Right. And we're going to be talking a lot about that in our coming shows. We're going to be talking about mindset and putting it into terms that are like actionable terms that you can go do and things. We're not here to speak over anybody's heads or to prove how smart we are or anything like that. We're simply here to discuss things that we've learned and, more importantly, experienced in our own lives that maybe you can connect with. And we want to hear your stories too. Please comment. When you comment, they pop right up. Nellie said, thank you. Sandy Mom is with us. Good morning, kids.
Good morning. Hi, Sandy.
I love this. We got somebody calling us kids. That's so cool. Hey, Jean Ritchie's with us. Jean, how are you? And Nellie said, let's talk about Melody's calming voice. Your calming voice.
So last night I uploaded a podcast from my podcast. It's called Melodie's Mindcast. And I just talk about finding your purpose, finding what ignites your soul's purpose.
Okay. All right,
and as soon as I uploaded it, Janelle called me and she said, Melody, your voice is so calm. It's like you're right here. And that's what makes me just call you for, anything, just to hear your calm voice. And that made me feel so good inside, and it inspired me to write another one. And I'm going to be creating that today and uploading it.
What you project outward, including your voice and your calm manner and your heart, your heart and how you care, that comes from a healthy inside.
Mhm.
You can't have turmoil on the inside and expect to have a calming, soothing voice and a warm heart and all that. It's got to come from the inside. So that's
Yes.
work you had to do on you to be that person, right?
And you want to know something?
What?
It takes a tremendous amount of consistency, and that's it. And it's free tools that you can do for yourself to help yourself unsuffer.
Consistency is so important. It's like the people who go to the gym once, then go home and weigh themselves and look in the mirror and look for the muscles. It doesn't work that way. And the inside job is the same way. It's got to be a daily ritual of self-care, not work, but stuff. Find the self-care things that you like to do. Don't do the self-care things I do, because you're not going to like it. Do what you like to do, right?
And I'm doing what I love to do right now with you.
Yeah, well, we found this. Yeah.
This is like, so I was trying to find my way, and I was going on YouTube a lot, and I was trying to find people that I was really connecting with. I wasn't finding that in my physical space here logistically. And there was a few people that really caught my eye. And I said, I have some thoughts on some of these techniques and tools, and I'm implementing them in my life. And if there's a way that I can help other people get unstuck, reignite, find their purpose, that is good enough for me, because I know how horrible it feels to be in that spot where you wake up and you feel like it's Groundhog Day. You feel like you are so stuck, but you're not stuck. You're just not growing anymore. You're not learning anymore.
And you stole one of my movies.
What's that?
Groundhog Day.
Oh, I love that.
We're going to talk about movies in a minute. A couple more people have joined us. You know this person.
Yeah, I do. Can't see.
Well, you can't see it.
Yeah.
Incy?
Hey, Mom.
Is that how you say it? Incy?
Yes. Ng.
What?
Ng. Like Angie, but Ng means pearl.
But there's no G in there.
Turkish, I know. C is like a soft G in Turkish.
Oh, Ingy, I apologize. Yes. Thank you for joining us. She says, I am watching.
I love you, Mom.
Karen is with us. She
Hi,
says, hi
Karen.
there. Love this show. Thank you, she says. There we go. Ingy says hi back. So, yeah. So if you put your comments in, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you're watching, put your comments in. We will see them and we can react to you. 99% of the time we get all the comments. Every once in a while, one might drop it. If we don't see it, ask again or put another comment in, because sometimes things happen. But we want to talk to you. And today we're going to have some fun. We're going to get so deep into the mindset in the self-care and improving yourself and the unstuckable, the unstuckness, getting unstucked, whatever you are, whatever you feel like. You know,
it's through this. It's through conversations and connection, right, Scott?
Yes, but that stuckness feels like
horrible.
Quicksand.
It's horrible.
Remember when we were kids, because we were about the same age?
Yeah.
I really thought quicksand was going to be a real danger in my life, because all the movies you watch, the Tarzan movies and all these different movies, they have quicksand everywhere. And they talked about it. And I thought, if I ever go in the woods or I go like in a swamp, I'm going to go in quicksand. I'm going to die. 58 years, I have not seen quicksand yet. It has not been an issue in my life. However, I will say it's kind of a connection, the quicksand, to how I was feeling for most of my life. Felt like the harder I struggled, the deeper I sank.
Oh my gosh. Right? Yes. It's called self-sabotage.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. And you got everybody yelling, don't move and you won't sink. And you just you're fighting and scrambling and yelling and screaming, and you're getting deeper and deeper and deeper instead of just relaxing, taking a beat, take a breath, and start to assess who you are in your situation. And you know what else? Ask somebody to toss you a freaking rope. If you're stuck in your life, ask somebody to help you. Why struggle all by yourself? You're sinking into quicksand. And if anybody knows where there's any quicksand in Florida, please tell me. I really need to see it once in my life. Right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking a lot about that. Last week, we talked about music and the influence it had. This week, we're going to talk about movies that inspired us, movies that entertained us, movies that are important in our lives. And we want to know what movies inspire you, entertain you, make you think a little bit. And we don't have to get into all the really deep Kurosawa type films and all this other stuff. And, and the guy with the bicycle and the hat and the little guy and the circus clown. And no,
just subtitles.
Yeah. Oh, I do not watch subtitled movies.
You shared that with me.
If I want to read a book, I'll read a book. I don't want to read a movie. I don't. You just miss too much and you don't get the inflection,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did it one time. I went to a theater and they had this movie. And so I decided to read out loud. I thought I would help the people in my row. I did the voices. I did everything.
I can't even.
Only 15 minutes into it, I had to leave the theater apparently.
And I can't get the smile off my face. You're making me laugh so hard. I can just see you doing that.
I'm a helper. I'm a helper.
Yeah.
So, trust me, my accents are not really entertaining. It's not good. Oh, let's see.
It's a little early for some people right now for
what?
all this laughter.
We're going to talk more about this, but Christine is with us.
Hi, Christine.
Christina H. Excuse me. And she's asking a question. Why is it so hard to change mindset?
Why is it so hard?
I'll let you take this one because this is a hard question.
Because we tend to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really difficult to make changes. It is because you have to face yourself in the mirror. The only one who can, quote unquote, pull the trigger in your life is you. And you have to make a decision. And that's all it is. You have to decide. But it's got to be a consistent thing for showing up for yourself every single day without fail.
Absolutely. I'm going to add to that another piece of why people have a hard time changing their mindset or making any changes is because we adopt a victim mentality.
Oh my goodness.
The victim mentality. Now, listen, I understand. As a child, you can be a victim because people can do things that aren't good. But as an adult, we're not victims.
Mm-mm.
We put ourselves in our situations. I'm not talking about crime. I'm talking about your life situations. Mm-hmm. We make our choices. And even if things go south a little bit, it's our choice to get out of it and make that change. But the victim mentality says, I can't. I love these people who say, I'm miserable in the mornings. It's just the way I am. I said, no, it's not. It's what you choose to be.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
Choose that. No, I don't. Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it easy to make the change? No. And you wake up in the morning, instead of the first thing out of your mouth saying, F you, maybe it should be, good morning, world, or I love you, or something nice. It might be uncomfortable at first, but if you do it enough, it'll feel better.
It takes the same amount of energy to love yourself as it is to hate yourself. And you get so much more benefits out of treating yourself like the person that you're in love with. Think about that. Treat yourself like the person that you're in love with.
Yes. And if you're looking in the mirror and if you don't see your own best friend in the mirror, if you look in the mirror and it's not a person you want to spend time with, then you need to change.
And how many times have we let ourselves down? I have let myself down so many times. And the reason why I felt stuck is because I knew I should be doing something different. There was things I needed to be doing, and there's things that I needed to be stopping. There were relationships that I needed to end and get out of that situation. I knew I wasn't a victim, and I was starting to pity myself, which really is not me. It's just not my MO. I don't pity myself generally. And I was like, I don't like this person anymore. I'm not inspired by anything I'm doing with what I'm doing in my life at all. And I've got to make a change, because if I don't, nobody else is. I got to rescue my own self, make myself happy, and be the person that I would want to be with for the rest of my life, because that's the essence of your soul, friends. You're going to be with yourself for the rest of your life. So why not treat yourself amazing? Why not?
Right. That's right. We're so busy looking for these relationships, and we're going to have that in the upcoming show.
Yeah.
It's going to be really important to watch. So please watch every week.
Yes, we definitely want to discuss this.
You don't want to miss these, but so many people are out there looking for relationships and people to fulfill them and make them happy. the whole "you complete me" thing. It's great for Jerry Maguire in the movie,
Yeah.
but it's not reality.
No.
If you're not complete as a person, what are you offering that other person? A half a person?
Yeah.
Which means you're going to have to just drain them of their stuff to fulfill yourself.
That's right.
Listen, when you can look in the mirror, when you can just function in your day and be happy with who you are and what you do, your life is completely different. But here's what people avoid, Melody. I think this is a real true for most people.
Yeah.
And I see this with addictions, is I know there's a way to solve this. I know there's a way for me to take responsibility, but I don't want to be responsible. It's easier for me to blame you for my unhappiness than for me to look in the mirror and say, why don't you do something about it?
Yep.
I used to go to my father's house when I was married to my second wife, and I used to go over to my father's house and complain. She's this and she's that, and this is awful. I'm miserable and all this stuff. And he'd sit and listen. We'd have a cigar. He'd sit and listen. And then one day I went over and he gave me the best advice a father can give his son. I was complaining about my wife again and my stuckness in my life. And he said, shut up. And I was like, oh, okay. Nice warm fuzzies there, Dad. Thank you. I'm expecting him to give me answers. He goes, shut up. All you want to do is complain, but you do not want to change. If you came here and said, I don't know how to change, fine, I'll talk to you. If you came here and says, I need to do something different, fine, I'll talk to you. But just to come here and complain and blame everybody for your life, shut up until you're willing to do something about it. And a very short 1 year later, I figured out I needed to do something. It took me a year to understand what he told me. I did something about it. But I didn't want that responsibility. It's easier for me to be miserable and blame others than for me to say, I'm responsible for my happiness. I'm responsible for getting to know me. I'm responsible for my creative side, my good side, my bad side. I'm responsible for all of that. Nobody else is.
It's so disempowering to go down that path.
It is.
Do you realize that anytime that you subject yourself to the negative nonsense of somebody just coming down on you, and you accept, what you're basically doing is you're accepting and agreeing with that person by listening to them, and you have a choice to walk away, get out of that relationship, do what you need to do to make sure that you are holding yourself in the highest light and valuing yourself and what you have to offer other people. Don't ever let anybody drain your energy and take away the light that you have. And also don't become that mindset mentality where you think that you're a victim and all these things are happening to you, because at any moment you can change your mindset and decide, I want to feel better. Because feeling better attracts better in life. Once something good happens, you celebrate those small wins. It can be anything. And I have a tendency to forget to do this for myself. So I try to say it out loud. So I remind myself to do it for myself. And once you have that win, you celebrate that win and you see that everything kind of starts aligning for you and things fall into place. And then you have more of what I call an open mind to all the opportunities and the connections that you can make within your world that can really get you to where you want to be in life. And that goes back to the beginning of my conversation with you when we were talking about like what inspires you and what are you doing and how do you get unstuck. I found that connecting with other people and helping and talking through some of the things that I've learned and learning from other people like yourself, how much joy this gives me. Because why would I keep all of this inside my head and my heart and not give back to somebody else to help relieve you, to let you know that it's okay to feel a little crazy. It's okay to feel a little stuck, but stop hitting yourself. You're not doing yourself any favors.
Absolutely. I don't want us to turn into a self-help podcast because the truth is the term self-help isn't it's an unstated fact that if you're getting help or helping yourself, it is self-help because you yourself has to participate.
Yeah.
So every time, even asking for somebody else to give you direction and guidance or help is self-help because you had to participate and ask. So all things are self-help. But I love that. I went to a library one time and said, can you show me where the self-help books are? And they said, no, I can't. So
Scott, Were you waiting? Were you waiting
I was
to drop
waiting.
that?
Yes. I wrote that 7 weeks ago. I was waiting for this show before I even
my
met. Nellie says, yes, the whole reason I started Nellie's Healing. This is the whole reason I started Nellie's Healing Art. I was really stuck last year. And you know what? And I look at Nellie, and thank God that Melodie introduced me to Nellie, and I become friends with her. And just to see the amazing transformation through her story, she shares that very openly and willingly, which is amazing. Yes. And to see that is inspiring. But we got a whole bunch of people.
And she's going to be not only is she and I both part of the Mind, Body, Soul Summit, which is happening on May 30th. Yes, 9 to 6. It's in the Coral Springs Cultural Arts Center. It's hosted by and sponsored by the Mental Wellness Networking Alliance, which is run by the mayor of the city of Coral Springs. And it's just going to be a day of just amazing breakout sessions, keynote speakers. We're going to have vendors all from the mind, body, space, and it's just going to be really fun, and it's free to attend. And Janelle is going to be one of the speakers. She's going to be speaking about her road to starting up Nellie's Healing Arts, and oh my goodness, her story will blow your mind. And then I have a few other people that are going to also be speaking, so I'm really looking forward to attending that event. I hope that you can attend. And yeah,
is there a website they can go to?
Yeah, you can find us on LinkedIn and on Instagram, Mind, Body, Soul Summit.
Mind, Body, Soul Summit. Check it out. It's happening at the end of this month, so you don't have much time. We got about a week and a half or so to go. So please check it out.
1 month, May 30th.
Oh, May 30th. Sorry, not April. May 30th. See, I would have been there really early.
It's okay.
I would have been sitting in the parking lot.
You would have been by yourself.
All right. We got more people making comments. Dean Jones. This is my brother. This is my brother from up in Virginia.
Hi, Dean.
Take the mentality that Take the mentality that this may be the last morning that you wake up. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Treat every day like it's your last. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Everybody says YOLO. You only live once. You only live once. And that's ridiculous. You live every day. You only die once. But you don't know when that's coming. So every day you've got to live. Mm-hmm. And every day you get a new day to start over and do things better than you did yesterday. Mm-hmm. It's not a competition against anybody but yourself. Can you be a little happier, a little kinder, a little better of a person today than you were yesterday? And look forward to what you could possibly be tomorrow. Thanks, Dean. I'm so glad you're with us, brother. Let's see. Nellie says, be your own hero.
Yeah.
I love that. Sandy Shell. Sandy, thank you for joining us. Agreed. You have to be 100% and they have to be 100%. When we're talking about relationships, you have to be 100% of the person.
I can't wait till we actually dive into relationships. That's going to be a good segment.
She did a little typo here. Sandy, I'm just going to point this out. I know you didn't mean this, but she says you have to be 100%. They have to be 109%. They got to be 9% more full than you. No.
Sounds like
I know it was a typo. It was 100. Thank you. Sandy. Yeah, she corrected it in the next one. Self-love is the key, she's sharing with us. Ingie says she agrees with all of this. My brother Dean, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh damn it, people like me. Do you remember
what movie is that from?
That was Stuart Smiley from Saturday Night Live, played by Al Franken.
That's it. I thought it was from a movie, but you're right, SNL.
Yes. Great reference, Dean. And Angie said, well said. All right. So keep your comments coming. Thank you so much for all of that.
Let's talk about movies.
Now, we did music, we did movies. We're going to be moving more into the mental health and the wellness state. Forget mental health. Wellness, just wellness. Better you, better life.
Mindset,
all of that.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing that throughout and having great guests. I know a couple people. We're going to have my friend Rex is going to be on, and Barry. And we've got Nellie's going to join us one of the shows, or at least one of the shows, maybe several. We're going to do a lot of guests and stuff. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And your friend Diana.
Yeah.
Can't wait. But let's talk about movies. Now, one of the reasons we brought this up is movies is a great escape.
Yes.
Sometimes there's nothing wrong with taking an escape, then taking a beat, taking a moment and saying, I need a break. I need to just fantasize. I need to be somewhere else. Movies are a great little escape. Now, when the movie's over and you finished your popcorn, you got to get back to real life.
Right.
But we're allowed those moments to have that, and it's a good energizing thing. I know people is like, I don't ever go to the movies. I don't ever watch TV. I don't ever. And I'm like, well, and you're miserable. Look at you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Have some fun. So, if you had to say the number one movie, your number one go-to movie, when you just want to be uplifted, what would it be?
There's so many that come top of my head. I mean, I have one for comedy that's just straight up,
All right, well, let's start with that.
Something About Mary always makes me laugh. Airplane always makes me laugh.
Oh, the original Airplane.
Yeah.
Yes.
For action, I love those spy comedies. So like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I love that.
Are you a Brad Pitt fan?
Yeah.
Who isn't?
Yeah.
Right?
But I love that. I love anything that is really fun and action oriented and spy, espionage.
Spy. Wait, Spy was that movie with Melissa McCarthy?
I saw that. That was hilarious.
Yes. I got comedies that I enjoy. I don't know why, but Legally Blonde always makes me laugh. It's just, I don't know why. It's just the way the movie's set up.
That's more of a rom-com.
And it's a rom-com, but at the same time, I guess it is. But I actually just like it's an indictment on Washington and how Washington works. And somebody comes in and says, well, that's stupid. I like that. There's a movie that I love called Idiocracy, where somebody goes into the future and people have become so dumb that he is like a genius. Throughout the country, this guy shows up. I mean, they actually were now watering crops with Gatorade and couldn't figure out why it didn't work. And they were and he's like, just use water. And it's just, it's about the dumbing down of American people.
Yeah.
And we could see that through things like AI. We could see that through all of these things where people are no longer thinking. I mean, we thought the internet was bad. We thought that the phones were bad. I used to be, you sit on the sofa, you see a guy, you turn to the person next to you, say, what was that guy in? And they'd say, I don't know. And that was the end of it. And now, what was that guy in? And they look at it. Oh, immediately. He was one of the soldiers in the movie Gladiator, stood in the back.
Great movie, by the way.
Yeah, great movie.
Unleash Hell. I mean, but as far as comedies, like the old school comedies, my dad and I just love Mel Brooks. Like anything by Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles. You can't get away with any of that anymore.
Yes.
You can't get away with that comedy anymore. I mean, like,
just
right,
Gene
Dad?
Wilder.
Right, Dad? Gene Wilder was
Mel Brooks
bomb.
and Gene Wilder did so much great work together.
Yeah.
And of course, in Blazing Saddles, you had Clavon Little and all these other characters. Just incredible. We got some comments here. Happy Gilmore.
Okay. Who was that?
That was Nellie says Happy Gilmore is her comedy, makes her laugh. Sandy Mom. Sandy is my mom. That's why we call her Sandy Mom. She says Being There with Peter Sellers.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with her.
That was a great movie.
Great film. Another kind of indictment
very different
on government.
Yeah, and he was a very different type of comedy.
Remember
and my
the
dad
Pink
loved
Panther
my dad and I hey Dad, we used to watch that Pink Panther movies. We used to wait for those to come out. I love that.
That's fantastic. Christina, I want to make sure I got that right. Christina H. Step Brothers. That's the one with Will Ferrell.
I hate those guys.
The other guy, yeah.
Oh my
see.
Gosh.
Great job, Mel. This is Linda. Linda Buchanan.
Hi, Linda. It's so good to see you.
Great job, Mel and Scott. Love your podcast. Love you too, Mel. Lane's mom, Linda. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Linda. Appreciate it. Why don't you share with us the movies that make you laugh? And then we'll move on.
What about Monty Python's Holy Grail? Did you ever see that? You never saw it?
The rabbit? I never sat through it.
The rabbit?
I can't stand Monty Python.
The killer bunny rabbit.
I can't stand Monty Python. I just am not. I love John Cleese.
Just thinking about it makes me laugh.
My old podcast host, who is no longer doing podcasts with me because he was such a Monty Python fan that I had to get rid. No, I'm kidding. Gary used to always try to convince me Monty Python is brilliant. It's funny, and I watched and I could not. I just don't. It's annoying.
Okay.
It's annoying.
So I like a little dark comedy too. So
All right,
one of
let's
my
go there.
favorite movies is Gross Point Blank with John Cusack and
Cusack.
Dan Aykroyd, if you haven't seen it. So I also love it. I'm a little biased because it takes place the year that I graduated from high school, 1986. And the movie takes place and it's centered around this guy, John Cusack, who just disappears at graduation. He doesn't take his girlfriend to the prom. He just leaves town. Nobody knows what happens to him. And then he reappears years later and he's a cold-blooded assassin.
Yeah.
and he goes around the school, the reunion.
And he kills people.
and he goes around the reunion and everybody's so wasted and he tells them the truth. They're like, so what are you doing these days? Oh, I'm an insurance man. And he's like, yeah, I'm a cold-blooded assassin. They're like, oh yeah, cool. We were wondering what happened to you.
Christina's adding Talladega Nights in there.
That's a good one.
Samantha, also Talladega Nights.
Wow.
This is my brother Dean, Young Frankenstein.
Awesome.
My friend Bill McClenton. He and I were best buds.
Bill
in grade school,
what?
And we actually were. It was one of the first plays I was ever in. Bye Bye Birdie, and I played Conrad Peterson, and he played. And he played the Elvis character. I can't remember the character's name. Anyway. We had such a great time, and we sang in chorus together. We were inseparable for a long time. As a matter of fact, I stole my first album. I was with Bill when I stole my first record from a store. How about the first time we heard a swear word, Scott? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Bill. The first time I heard a swear word, I think it came out of my mom's mouth the day I was born.
Gosh.
So, I'm not sure. We laughed literally for 15 minutes. We actually created a term. Bill will remember this. We created a term, Chewy.
Yeah.
And we used to go throughout the school and just say Chewy to everybody, trying to make it a word, trying to make it a thing.
Oh, you were one of those.
It was like
people.
Mean Girls, that girl from Mean Girls who says, that's so fetch, We were using the word chewy. We're like, oh, she's chewy, man. Oh, that's chewy. We tried.
And it didn't catch on?
Did not catch on. Let's see. Fish Called Wanda.
I never saw it.
You would like that because there's a couple of people from Monty Python in that.
Oh, okay.
It's very good. And Jamie Lee Curtis. And love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
Burn After Reading. Middle school, we were in middle school together. Conrad Birdie was his character. Mine was Albert Peterson. That's what it was. Okay, we all caught up on all the comments.
Did you like any of the classics? Did you like any of the classics at all?
What do you mean classic?
I don't know, just classic movies. Like, my mom, she loved Roman Holiday. It was like Gregory Peck, Audrey Hepburn.
See, now you're talking my language because the movies that I like the most, The Godfather, Godfather 2. Love. Casablanca.
How about Gone with the Wind?
Great.
Okay, I was that weird kid who memorized the entire script of that movie.
I've never
when
seen
it first came. What?
I've never seen Gone with the Wind.
All right, I'm leaving. Folks.
No. I will take it as an assignment to watch the film because I've always wanted to.
My parents can attest to this. When HBO first came out, you remember then?
Yeah, we remember.
So Gone with the Wind was the only thing playing. It was a 3-hour-long movie. I memorized the whole movie.
Did you really?
The whole movie, front and back. Mm-hmm.
The only thing I know is what? The famous line. Frankly, my dear,
yeah,
I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it. Never seen it. But I love classic films. 12 Angry Men, one of my favorite films ever made.
Really?
12 Angry Men
I
with
saw
Henry
that.
Fonda.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fantastic. The star power in that room.
Yeah.
And it was all shot with one camera.
Mm-hmm.
With one camera. It was amazing what they did.
Did you ever see Space 1999?
Yes, with Martin Landau.
My dad was saying that was just such an amazing movie. And I don't remember seeing it.
Space 1999 was a TV show.
Or not. Dad, what was it called again? Not Space 1990. Yeah, but the Martin Landau
2001
Space Odyssey.
Okay.
Okay.
That
Sorry.
was a movie. That was Space 1999 was a TV show.
It was, which I liked.
And it was, yeah, I liked it too. I watch it's streaming now on Peacock or one of the channels. I went back and watched. I'm like, oh my God, I liked this. And I'm watching the whole premise is there's a space station on the moon.
Yes, that's it.
And then something goes wrong and the moon gets jettisoned away from the Earth and it just goes away. And they never talk about what would happen to the Earth. They never talk about that. Because the people on the Earth are like trying to radio them and saying, you know, hey, our moon is gone.
I gotta go back and watch that. Yeah, but
yes. But 2001 Space Odyssey was, I think it was a Kubrick film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we talk about The Matrix?
It
changed my life.
It was hard. Why did why?
Because I walked out of there and actually I went with my parents to see the movie and my ex-husband. I was like 9 months pregnant. I thought I was going to have the baby. I was like floored. It had everything I could ever want. Action, sci-fi. It was just, and the storyline blew my mind.
It gives you that moment of,
it blew my mind.
Is my reality what I think it is, right?
Yes.
It makes you think.
It actually did. And up until that point, I did not like Keanu Reeves at all.
Really?
I didn't care about
one
the
of
other
the nicest guys in Hollywood.
I didn't care. I thought he was a lousy actor. I saw that. And then I got hooked. And then when he came out with a John Wick, oh my gosh. Okay, so that's my thing.
John Wick, it's one of my paintings. I did a John Wick painting.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, I'll show it to you.
Ooh.
Nice. I love Keanu. I did not like his early stuff. I did not like Bill and Ted.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Guy.
Yeah.
I'm not. And I didn't like some of the other ones. Kind
of like I didn't like Speed.
Kind of like that because Patrick Swayze in it was kind of good, and Lori Petty was in it.
It was okay.
It was good. The premise of the film was kind of cool. There were just moments that
you're right. There was action, and
they put Gary Busey in it. Whenever you put
and
Gary
again,
Busey in
and Keanu again wasn't a good actor then.
Keanu wasn't, but you're right. The Matrix came
action.
out.
Man, that guy's
John Wick came out. He's done other things that are absolutely amazing since then. And let me tell you something about this is inspiration. This guy does not live in a mansion. You know, he's got a modest place.
Yeah, he's a humble guy.
He collects his motorcycles.
Yeah, he has his own motorcycle company.
Yeah, he
custom makes
motorcycle company. And he usually rides the motorcycle that he kind of tinkers with more than he does the beautiful, perfect bikes he rides. And he'll go over in his jeans and his dirty leather jacket. He'll go to Starbucks or I'm not promoting Starbucks.
Yeah.
Could have been Dunkin', could be any coffee company. He'd go there and he'd get a coffee. Then he'd sit outside and he'd pay for everybody's coffee for a couple hours and talk to people. And he's just that we need more of that.
And
approachability.
He's with a non-celebrity. She's an author, and they got together because they co-authored a book. She did, I think, the illustrations he wrote. It was a poem called Ode to Sadness or something, Wow. And they've been together for like 10 years, and she's very low key. Yeah, wow. She's not a glamorous type at all.
That's awesome. Let's talk about some of the other inspirational films. I'll tell you one
Interstellar. Film. Interstellar was really.
I've never seen it.
What?
Somebody told me it was like 3 weeks ago. I was at a training and they were talking about. They quoted something and I said, "What's that?"
You got to watch that. You have got to watch that this weekend.
I'm not a huge Matthew McConaughey.
I'm not either. I can't stand the guy. He was awesome. He was awesome in that movie, and I liked him in the other movie, Contact. Contact was great with Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster. Contact, I think one of the best alien films ever made. Just because it wasn't over the top alien, it was really more about what are they trying to tell us, figuring it out.
I love it.
And
it seemed almost plausible, right? Yeah, the way that they did it.
Who was the old man? Was that
he was supposed to be like a Warren Buffett?
You mean the old guy? The old guy, the rich guy. Yeah, he was in Aliens. Had the thing burst out of him. John Hurt.
Yeah.
Just what a brilliant film, Contact. We got a couple of films that people are throwing out.
Arrival was great.
Clint Eastwood movie.
Did you see Arrival? That was a great movie. Oh my
Lynn,
gosh, really
Lynn is
intense.
Serrano's with us. Lynn, thank you for joining
Hi,
us. Lynn and I have been friends since high school, before high school, actually. Actually dated for a little while.
Wow,
when
who
when
haven't
we
you
were kids.
dated?
This is
Oh gosh.
Lynn will find that funny. She's now out in Billings, Montana, but she does
nice.
spend time here once in a while. And we reconnected. I saw something she was doing, or she saw something I was doing on a podcast. We reconnected after not talking to each other for more than 30 years.
Wow.
And
awesome.
And then we started doing the Lynn and Scott show, which we went into hiatus about it's about 7 months ago. We went into a hiatus just because we got really busy and everything else. We are going to pick it up again at some
Billings,
point,
Montana. I've always wanted to go to Montana. I heard it's so beautiful.
It is. However, it was the winter months, and she'd
brutal,
be talking about the snow and the cold.
Yeah. I'm not saying
No, thank you.
during the winter months, but
hey, Lynn, you're always good for one. Give us a shout out of a movie that inspired you, either a funny movie that inspired you or something that inspired you. I'm going to give you one more that's really big.
Yeah.
We all went on our motorcycles to see this when I was hanging out with a bunch of biker people, and we went on our motorcycles and we saw the movie Dirty Dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the original Dirty. No, I'm sorry, not Dirty Dancing. Footloose. We went to go see Footloose. We left there. We went to the Piggly Wiggly or whatever store it was behind the theater, and we went in to get some stuff, and we were dancing in the store. Every one of us, none of us could dance. But watching Footloose, everybody walked out of there thinking they could dance, and everybody's like doing that stuff, So that was inspiring.
I think it goes without saying we got to bring up The Notebook as a romantic movie.
Another one I've never seen.
What?
I've never seen The Notebook.
Okay.
Or The Secret.
I'm not okay. Midnight in Paris. Did you see Midnight in Paris?
No.
Okay, so if you've not seen Midnight in Paris, people, and you love art and history, it's really cool because Owen Wilson is in Paris, and every night at midnight, he goes back in time and he runs into people like Salvador Dali and all these different artists. He goes back like 100 years in time.
What's this called again?
Midnight in Paris.
Midnight in Paris. I'm writing that down.
It's awesome. And it really it's so dreamlike. It's so well done. And it's a romantic comedy. It's very kind of Woody Allen-esque,
I like Woody
Allen. It is Woody Allen, so.
Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's see. We got The Shining. I guess we're off comedies now. The Shining. What a great film.
I'm not a scary.
Oh, wait. You don't like scary movies?
I don't like them very much anymore.
None?
Not
Have
really.
you ever seen The Exorcist?
Yes, I've seen them. I've seen so many scary. I've seen all of those. Shining, yeah. All of them.
I love the franchise, the Scream franchise, because it's kind of a parody of a slasher film, but it's a slasher, so it'll scare you, but it's also you're laughing half the time too. So it's.
Did you ever see Us by Jordan Peele?
Oh
my gosh!
I started watching it. I've never kind of got around to finishing it, but I loved the idea. He
is brilliant. And the way that he directs these movies, it's mind-blowing. It's like Sixth Sense, that movie, The Sixth Sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With the endings like that. And it just makes you go, oh my God, how could it blows your mind at the end. And that's what he does. Jordan Peele has that ability to make you just bend your mind and go, oh my God, that could really happen. Or is that possible? How did I not see that?
Just a spoiler alert, Sixth Sense, the end of the movie is it'll blow your mind. What happens at the end because what happens is after a great movie, the end, I'm going to give it away. At the end of Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis goes back to making shitty movies. So that's what happened at the end of the Sixth Sense. He made so many bad movies. Bruce Willis. He made great movies, but I love Sixth Sense. All right, we got some comments. Terms of endearment.
Who put that there?
Christina.
I figured. I have an idea who that is.
Movies that influenced us somehow.
Terms of endearment. Yeah, that's like really depressing.
I think it was.
It was like movie somebody's slowly dying or something?
I thought maybe was this the one where the son died? I don't know.
If it's like anything to do with like inoperable disease, I'm not watching it.
You must hate Disney movies. You must hate Disney movies. Every Disney movie, the parents are dead. Every one. In The Lion King, you have to watch Mufasa die. I mean, Bambi, you know, Pinocchio, his parents were cut down in a forest. All these people, their parents, Disney was twisted. He was, think about it.
You're killing me.
Think about it. It's the truth.
I love Disney.
I love Disney too.
No, I loved Walt. I used to write him letters when I was a kid, when I lived in Vermont. I just, please send me some tickets, e-tickets specifically to Walt Disney World. And he never wrote me back. He never sent me tickets.
You watch Beauty and the Beast, and it's so nice. And what's her name from Beauty and the Beast?
I have no idea. See, I never watched any animation.
Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
And she lives with her father. Why? Because her mother died from the plague. From the plague. They couldn't even say something nice like, oh, she got sick. No, she had the freaking plague.
Hey, how did we get... Okay, so we were talking about scary movies. How about The Ring? Remember The Ring?
That one scared me a little bit. That one scared me a little bit. Not because of the actual movie, but because of that girl's hair. And I remember when my wife
shampoo so bad.
Oh, when my wife and I separated, my oldest daughter, Hillary, I had to brush her hair. And she had that long hair. And when it was like, and every time I saw it in the morning, it looked like that girl from The Ring. So that was traumatized.
And you thought she was going to go through the TV.
I remember it's like the bus is coming in 10 minutes and I'm trying to get all the knots out of her hair.
Oh, you're killing me.
Anyway, in terms of Sandy Mom, Lost Weekend. The Lost Weekend.
Bernie?
Heartbreaking.
The Bernie? Oh.
No, The Lost Weekend was a story about alcoholism.
Oh, no, I didn't see
And that's a good film. If you want to know some good films to do with Days of Wine and Roses, The Lost Weekend, these are great films to understand addiction and alcoholism. So, but it was a great film. Matrix, good series. So Lynn's with you on
All right, Lynn.
Matrix. And Sandy Mom's throwing Citizen Kane out there. All right. So, wow, we got like 12 minutes left.
Oh, we got plenty to talk about.
We got plenty to talk about.
You didn't even mention Silence of the Lambs.
See, that didn't inspire. I loved that movie. Did you like it?
It was one of those that you couldn't look away from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aren't there some movies like you're kind of invested and it's kind of like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this. It almost feels like you feel bad for watching it, but it's kind of interesting and you want to see how it unfolds.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that movie was for me.
Yeah.
And that was a very popular movie.
And it was good. I mean, you had
and it made you wonder about like people that just seem like regular physicians and doctors out there that are reputable in the world. And you could be standing next to somebody who's looking at you for dinner to eat you.
If I was a doctor when that movie came out, in the reception area, I'd have a can of fava beans and a Chianti just sitting there in the reception area just to watch people react.
No, I couldn't do that.
That's why I'm not a doctor, because I'm sick and twisted. That's why.
Speaking of sick and twisted, how about Groundhog Day? That was one of my favorite movies of all time. It was the right balance of comedy, love.
Yeah.
And it really had a good storyline.
And it was good. It's not one of those movies I could watch over and over again because
you know what happens.
Bill Murray. Yeah. Because it's like watching the movie over and over again. But Bill Murray, I'm just not a huge fan of Bill Murray.
No,
I don't mind him, but he's not one of my. If you had a star, well, let me tell you, when I grew up, John Wayne was the man.
Yeah,
John Wayne. You watch movies with your dad. My dad we would go because my parents were divorced. We'd go to my dad's house for the weekend, my brothers and I, and we'd either watch a scary movie,
Magnificent Seven,
But we
Hang
would
'em
watch-
High. What was it? Hang 'em High.
yeah, that's
something like that.
Magnificent Seven was Yul Brynner, Hang 'em High was Clint Eastwood,
Mhm.
John Wayne was Rio Bravo,
Mhm.
and the Cowboys. And,
My dad loved all
the
that.
Undefeated. The Undefeated with John Wayne and Rock Hudson, one of my favorite all-time films. It's just a great Westerns.
So
How come there's no Westerns anymore?
I don't know. I really don't. Did you ever see Kill Bill? That's kind of like modern day martial arts. You know, it's it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I had a Hatsumi sword signed by David Carradine.
Get out
framed.
of there. Oh, what a loss he was.
Yeah, framed. And
Suicide, another.
and again, I was like, Uma Thurman and me were like symbiotic souls. No kidding.
The fight.
I loved her.
Vivica A. Fox and Uma Thurman fight.
That was awesome. The school bus. I mean,
I was at a function. I met Vivica A. Fox and got to talk to her for like a half hour.
Did you ask her about that?
Well, she does so much good work for the addiction communities because her brother has problems and mental health and stuff. And so she does a lot of great work. But I didn't ask her about specific movies. I was just kind of like, getting to know her as a person. Really awesome person. Vivica A. Fox. Yeah, absolutely.
She's beautiful. She is so beautiful.
Whether she was in her thinner times and sometimes she's a little heavier or anything, she always is beautiful.
She's
always.
Gorgeous.
You know why? It's because of how she feels about herself and how she sees herself.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, if you see yourselves as ugly, no, we're going to go back into self-help now. If you see yourselves as ugly or wrong or bad, you're going to project that.
Yes.
If you see yourself as beautiful, you'll project that too. And people see it. They
Feeling better
really
attracts
do.
better.
Yes.
Feeling better. And when we say feel better, it's not like a physical thing. It's a mental thing. It's for sure your mindset. It's the way that you really evoke, yourself, and transmuting all of that negativity into positivity is just going to create more positive things happening in your life. It's going to open the doors to better connections, more meaningful conversations.
Absolutely. It's everything. We got a couple more. Christina says, Goodfellas. That's a great film.
That was a great movie.
Great film. Really liked Ray Liotta in that. Didn't like him in a lot of his other films. But
did you like Reservoir Dogs?
Yes.
Oh God, that was hard to look away.
Quentin Tarantino.
It's one of those things. I love him.
I either hate his movies or love them.
I know.
It's like the one with the Dusk Till Dawn. Hated it.
I hated that movie too.
But Reservoir Dogs, and it was disgusting.
That was rough.
Gross, and
I don't like that anymore. I don't like that, but I did see that.
The acting was great.
It was phenomenal.
The acting was great. Shawshank Redemption.
Awesome.
You know who wrote that film, right?
Mm-mm.
Stephen King.
No.
The horror writer wrote Shawshank
I forgot
Redemption.
that. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he also wrote the movie Stand By Me, which became the boys' adventure movie. Let's go on an adventure to see a dead body, and that's what the movie was about.
Mm-hmm.
Going to see a dead body.
I like Stephen King a lot, a real lot.
He is amazing,
dark,
twisted. What do you think his best work was for you?
God, Salem's Lot was like, that's really when he gained all the traction, right?
Yes.
Was it in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s? I think he came out with that and scared the crap out of me when they had the series that came out after that. I couldn't sleep.
To me, it was The Shining was his greatest work.
Oh God,
I think it was his greatest work. He hated the movie they did though.
Did he? Why? It wasn't a good
because it didn't portray the actual, it didn't go deep enough into what he was showing.
Yeah.
Which was 80% of that movie. Now there's always that scary spirit world thing that goes on, but 80% of that movie was about his withdrawal from alcohol.
Oh,
that's what the book was written about. All those things, sitting and talking to a bartender who's not there.
I just thought he was like schizophrenic or something like that.
Moment. He quit drinking because he hurt his son. Oh. And that's why they went there, so he could write and get over his drinking. And all these things were DTs and different things.
And I don't remember, was he drinking in the movie?
No, because at the beginning of the movie, it was.
I don't remember. See, it's been so long. Yeah. All I remember is Here's Johnny. And,
Here's Johnny.
The classic. I don't remember the movie in detail, and I think I saw it maybe once.
I was more scared of Shelley Duvall. She was scary
Cray
looking.
cray.
She was scary looking. And now whenever I see the repeat of that, all I can think about is Shelley Duvall as Olive Oil in Robin
Oh
Williams'
God, that was
Popeye
horrible.
movie. Oh,
Ugh.
all right. We got a couple more. Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, that
my
was a
brother's
good
sharing
movie. I like that.
that. Judy Sweeney Temple. Judy, thank you so much for joining us. It's been
Hi,
a long time
Judy.
since I've heard from you or saw you. She says she never got that either with the Disney movies and why they're so either violent or parents
How
dead.
come I never picked up on that?
Think about it. Not one of them has mom and dad in it. Not one. Dumbo? No. I mean,
It's all broken homes.
Aladdin, an orphan. Even the princess.
Scott, I'm gonna need to go therapy after this.
I'm telling you. Well, let's go to Disney World. No.
No, I have a broken childhood.
It's filled with broken dreams and a 6-foot rat. That's what it's filled with. Come on, people. Anyway.
Folks.
Judy says miss you. Thank you, Judy, and miss you too. I hope all is well. She moved up to somewhere that's not here. It's another Pennsylvania or whatever. I'm not sure where you moved to, but I miss you. You're good. Yeah. So all these movies, it's not about the particular film. It's about what it makes you feel and what it makes you think.
That's why I love the comedy so much.
Yeah. And I love, of course, I look at movies like
were you ever into the franchise Mission Impossible? Were you ever into that one? I loved Mission Impossible.
I loved the first one.
Yeah.
Loved it. John Voight and Tom Cruise and even Emilio Estevez, who was killed in the first 5 minutes of the film. An elevator crushed him. Good job, Emilio. See, you're getting the good big parts now, huh?
How does he remember this stuff?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, and Emilio Estevez. They wouldn't even let him use the name. He's such a bad actor. No, I love Emilio. He's great. Mighty Ducks, good work.
I don't think he's watching. So.
Oh, you don't think he's watching? I know he's not working. No, no, I tried to get into them, and I watched the second one, and now they're all streaming on Paramount, so I can watch all of them.
Yeah.
And I thought, today's the day I'm going to paint, and usually when I'm painting, I have a movie on or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch all these movies.
Midnight in Paris.
By the time I get to the third one, I'm like, I can't watch anymore. I just can't. It's too much. But I like the movies. I do. To me, it's like James Bond. I grew up on every James Bond movie.
Yeah, I've watched everyone with my dad.
Ever. Who's your favorite James Bond?
Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, really? You're going new school.
I liked him.
I was always a Roger Moore fan.
Oh, I loved him too.
Roger.
I was not a Sean Connery person.
Sean Connery, I loved him in Goldfinger, but that's really the only one I liked him in. Roger Moore, I loved him in Live and Let Die and a few others.
That was
Moonraker
great.
and a few.
Moonraker was great.
But the newer one, Daniel Craig, really
He's good. He is
really
really good. Yes.
Ian Fleming did not like Sean Connery, did not like Roger Moore. His favorite James Bond was a guy named George Lazenby, who was only in one film.
Yeah, I know.
And he goes, he's what I pictured when I wrote it. He didn't like these other guys. Sean Connery was too much of a pretty boy. Or not Sean Connery, but Roger Moore.
Yeah.
And Sean Connery was like, he's Scottish. He's not.
He does. He's not the epitome of James Bond.
Anyway, so let's see. Oh, Judy liked Pierce Brosnan too. I guess everybody, the best way to start the day is with you two. Nellie said that.
Nellie.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, just for you, we're going to stay on another hour. No,
I'm
kidding. We can't. We're actually at the end right now, and we didn't get through anything.
Look at that.
We just had fun, and we had fun with you.
You
guys.
didn't even refer to that. He wrote a whole book before I got here, and I came in, and I've got just like this one page on my laptop, and
all these ideas. The only thing I got to was, "Good morning. You're watching Live Out Loud." Anyway, so you're watching Live Louder podcast. I want to remind everybody before we close out, please like this show, subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends. Please join us next week, next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And we're going to be talking about, I think we're going to be talking about relationships next week. That's what we're working on right now. A great show. Relationships with others, relationships with yourself. Melody, what are your final words for the day?
Hey, folks, just be kind to your mind and others. Take care of each other.
Please do. And remember, every day, do 2 nice things for yourself, 1 nice thing for somebody else, and you're never going to go wrong. I'm Scott.
I'm Melody.
Thanks for joining us right here on the Live Louder podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye.